Have you ever looked up at the moon and wondered what lies beneath its serene facade? It's a question that has intrigued many of us, sparking countless stories, myths, and scientific theories. Well, it turns out that the reality might be more turbulent than we ever imagined. Let's delve into some fascinating research funded by NASA, which has been tirelessly peering beneath that calm lunar surface. This research is unveiling a surprising reality about our closest celestial neighbor, and the findings are nothing short of astounding. Beneath the moon's tranquil exterior, it appears that there's a whole lot of activity going on down in its core. That's right, the moon's core. You see, the moon isn't just a static, unchanging ball of rock orbiting our planet. It's a dynamic entity, with a core that's cooling and, consequently, causing the moon to shrink. Imagine that. Our moon, the silent sentinel of the night sky, is actually getting smaller. Now, this isn't happening at a pace that we could observe with the naked eye, of course. But this shrinkage is causing some rather dramatic changes to the moon's surface. It's wrinkling, much like a grape transforming into a raisin. And these wrinkles are not just aesthetically interesting. They're forming what scientists term thrust faults, giant ripples across the moon's surface. These aren't just harmless lunar laugh lines, though. These thrust faults can lead to moonquakes and landslides that last for hours. So, there you have it. The moon, our familiar beacon in the night sky, is hiding a turbulent reality beneath its serene facade. This research is a stark reminder of how much we still have to learn about our own solar system. It's a testament to the ceaseless curiosity of the human spirit and the tireless efforts of those who seek to uncover the secrets of the universe. The moon, it seems, may not be as tranquil as we once thought. Now let's delve deeper into what these changes within the moon's core mean for its surface. As the moon's core cools down, it contracts, much like how a grape shrinks into a raisin. This contraction results in the moon's surface beginning to wrinkle and fold, forming what scientists refer to as thrust faults. Picture a tablecloth that's too large for your table. As you push it to fit, it forms ridges and folds. That's essentially what's happening to the moon's surface, just on a much grander scale. But these aren't just harmless wrinkles. These thrust faults can lead to phenomena known as moonquakes and landslides, and they're not the brief events we're used to here on Earth. These moonquakes can rumble on for hours, and the landslides they trigger can reshape the lunar landscape. Shifting our focus to research, we find ourselves in the company of Tom Waters, a lead researcher from the Smithsonian Institution. In his study published in the Planetary Science Journal, Waters explains that these shallow moonquakes are capable of producing strong ground shaking, particularly in the moon's south polar region. This shaking can occur from slip events on existing faults or through the formation of new thrust faults. By using cameras aboard the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, Waters and his team spotted numerous small, young thrust faults widely distributed in the lunar crust. These observations, combined with seismic data left on the moon's surface by astronauts decades ago, paint a picture of a moon that's far more dynamic than we might think. In conclusion, the moon is not the tranquil, unchanging orb we often imagine it to be. Beneath the calm exterior, its core is cooling and contracting, causing its surface to wrinkle and form thrust faults. These faults, in turn, can lead to moonquakes and landslides, shaking up our perception of the moon's serene facade. The moon's surface, much like its core, is more active than it appears. You might be wondering, why does this matter? Well, for those with an eye on moon exploration, it matters quite a bit. Let's start by focusing on the moon's south pole. This region is of particular interest to scientists because it's believed to harbor water ice hidden in the shadows. It's also the area set to be explored by NASA's Artemis III mission in just 2 years' time. Now imagine you're an astronaut or a robot traversing the moon's surface. The serene landscape suddenly ripples beneath you, causing a moonquake or even a landslide. These aren't just minor inconveniences, but serious hazards that can last for hours. It's a bit like walking on a carpet that's constantly being tugged from underneath. This is where the significance of these findings truly comes into play. Lead researcher Tom Waters has emphasized the cruciality of these findings in planning future moon missions. He noted that the global distribution of young thrust faults, their potential to be active, and the potential to form new thrust faults from ongoing global contraction should all be considered when determining the location and stability of permanent outposts on the moon. However, Waters also clarified that he wasn't trying to discourage exploration of the moon or alarm anyone. Rather, he aims to inform and prepare future astronauts about the dynamic environment they will encounter. After all, knowledge is power, and understanding these potential dangers could be the difference between a successful mission and a catastrophic one. So, as we gaze up at the moon from our backyards, it's important to remember that there's more than meets the eye. Behind its calm exterior lies a turbulent reality, a world constantly changing and shaping itself, much like our own. The moon, it seems, is not the benign celestial body we once thought it was. As we continue to explore and understand our universe, it's clear that even the most familiar sights can still surprise us. The moon's tranquil appearance is deceiving, hiding a dynamic and ever-changing reality. So, let's delve into these surprising revelations about our celestial neighbor. The research spearheaded by Tom Waters at the Smithsonian Institution has unearthed some fascinating facts. The moon, it seems, is not just a silent spectator in our night sky, it's a dynamic entity, constantly evolving and changing. As its core cools down, the moon is shrinking, leading to the formation of thrust faults. These are not just cosmetic changes, they can cause moonquakes and landslides that last for hours, transforming the moon's landscape in significant ways. These findings hold profound implications for future moon exploration. As we continue to reach for the stars and set our sights on establishing permanent outposts on the moon, we need to factor in these realities. The moon's surface is not as benign as it appears. The presence of young and potentially active thrust faults means that we need to carefully consider the locations of our future lunar bases. The ongoing global contraction of the moon could lead to the formation of new thrust faults, posing possible risks to our lunar expeditions. However, Waters was quick to clarify that these findings are not meant to deter us from exploring the moon. Quite the contrary, in fact. His intention was to arm future astronauts with this crucial knowledge. Being aware of the moon's dynamic nature can help us better prepare for the challenges that lie ahead. It's about equipping ourselves with the right information to ensure safe and successful lunar missions. So, the next time you gaze up at the moon, remember, there's more to it than meets the eye. Behind its serene facade lies a dynamic entity, ever-changing and full of surprises. As we continue to unravel the mysteries of the moon, who knows what other secrets we might uncover? But one thing's for sure, our celestial neighbor is far more fascinating and complex than we ever imagined.